The Mages Guild really has a lot going for it in Morrowind. If we ignore the storyline and the characters for a moment, it offers a wide variety of services that are useful to most characters. You have alchemy merchants with useful potions and ingredients, enchanters with scrolls and enchanted items, spell merchants, spellmaking and enchanting services, training, and last but not least, guild guides that connect the various guild halls to each other. There are other guilds that have those kinds of services, true. Notably, the Temple and House Telvanni offer most of these, but the Mages Guild offers an advantage of convenience that they just can't match. Thanks to the fast travel network between the guild halls in Balmora, Caldera, Alderun, Cedric Mora and Vivec, you can quickly check out a wide variety of different merchants, just in case they have what you need. You don't even have to be a member to access those services, and you can use the guild guides to move between cities instead of using silt striders and boats. Caldera doesn't even have those, so the guild guide is the only quick and efficient way to get there. The Mages Guild is also a very good guild for low-level characters, especially low-level mages. Each guild hall, with the exception of Caldera, offers a supply chest. That supply chest contains potions of Restore Magicka and Fortify Willpower, some useful scrolls and some other stuff. They respawn after some time. The unofficial wiki says it takes 4 months. Maybe I unknowingly have a mod that changes that for me because I've had it happen in only 15 days. Regardless, most alchemists don't restock potions of Restore Magicka, so this is a godsend for a mage. There is some other stuff you can take without incurring anger. For example, a lot of stuff on the Caldera bookshelf. But be careful what you take. There's also the Caldera alchemy set, which is actually owned, but there's no one around to see you take it. Or the locked room of the Alderun Hall that has no NPCs around. You can unlock it and take what you want. The guild in Balmora offers beds, and there are actually 2 empty rooms in Alderun that you can use for yourself. The quests in Balmora and Alderun that don't have rank requirements are fairly easy, and will for sure give less problems to a new player than the Fighters Guild quests. The only thing Ajira wants you to go outside for is to pick up flowers and mushrooms. And most of Edwina's early quests have you pick up books for her. Admittedly, you do need to kill a scamp during one of her early quests. But if you can manage that, you get Amulets of Divine and Almseve Intervention without too much trouble near the start of the game. By the way, Edwina comes up in my best Morrowind waifu video. The Morrowind subreddit downvoted this video when I tried to share it, but what else can you expect from a place that thinks farm tool jokes are the height of comedy? Both Ajira, Edwina, but also Rannis, that is the Balmora Mages Guild steward, are fairly well-developed characters. Ajira is competing with the enchanter Galbadir over who will become journeyman first. Most of her quests actually deal with Ajira trying to upstage or sabotage Galbadir. Edwina is a scholar interested in Dwemer books, Dwemer ruins and Dwemer blueprints found in those ruins. She hates being interrupted and she dislikes Trebonius, the Archmage, and may direct you to challenge him for a duel at a certain point. Rannis is ruthless, hates non-Mages Guild wizards, and uses her authority to deal with past grudges. When she tells you to find the Telvanni spy in the guild, you can actually throw her under the bus and make her disappear from the game, if you like. I don't do that because I like to get Soul Drinker. I prefer to have my Soul Trap spell in enchanted weapon form. Also, Punabi and Sulipun were kinda hard to find in my first playthrough. A little tip on how to find those. Ignore most of the directions. The only thing you need to know is to go north of the Dunmer stronghold that she marks on your map. All the rest is just unnecessary and only complicates your travel. The Caldera Guild Hall is kinda lacking. In the base game there are no quests and there's no supply chest. But if you download the Master Index unofficial plugin, the Guild Steward has you search for Propylon indexes. Those are the keys that allow fast travel between ancient Dunmer strongholds, and they are spread across the Vardenfell map. You can find them even without the plugin, but Tholm's Mirror tells you where they are, and pays you when you bring them to him. When you find all of them, he gives you the Master Index, and this makes Caldera into a hub that connects to the Dunmer strongholds. All of them except Kogorun, which is disconnected from the network. The Mages Guild in Sadrith Mora is just a tiny room. Skink, the steward and the only one to offer quests, is not available right away. You actually need to complete an Aldrun quest for Edwina that requires you to take a potion from him back to Aldrun before he actually unlocks as a quest giver. He is a scholar and a diplomat. He kinda has to be because his guild hall is located heavily in Telvanni territory. It doesn't help that one of his subordinates in Sadrith Mora keeps playing pranks on the Telvanni. He probably has the most difficult quests in the Mages Guild, with the exception of Trebonius' last quest. Speaking of which, Trebonius is the Archmage and is fairly disliked by pretty much everyone in the guild. The guild hall stewards and pretty much everyone in the Vivek guild hall have all something to say about him. Something negative. When you ask him about duties, he tells you to solve the mystery of the Dwemer. You can actually complete this quest fairly easily if you've done all of Edwina's quests and you know what is located under Tel Fear. But everyone discourages you from even trying and tells you about their own duties from Trebonius. Such as being told to learn the language of the Silt Striders and to dig a tunnel to the mainland. Trebonius is an imbecile who was kicked upwards, but he's also secretly a Chad. In his second quest, he wants you to kill all the Telvanni councillors. I did it once for the walkthrough. Don't expect me to do it again. Really don't. But while he may be guilty of stupidity, I can't help but respect his attitude. If he was just a little brighter, he could be accused of being a visionary of some sort. He's a battle mage, so he's basically the player, but with outrageous ideas and without the good reputation. The player just does whatever they are told by other people, so they don't have the ability to step on anyone's toes. There are actually two ways to get the highest rank. One is to duel him, and the other is to get a letter from Skink that names you the Archmage. In this case, he will refuse to step down, and there will be 2 Archmages in Vvardenfell from then on. So all of this to say that the Mages Guild is actually objectively a really good guild in Morrowind. It's beginner friendly, it has tons of useful services, each guild steward with the exception of Caldera has a distinct personality. Several of the quests enable you to make some sort of a choice, and there are 2 ways to attain the highest rank. I think it's one of the best and most interesting guilds in Morrowind, but what do you think? If you want to see where exactly it ranks for me, here's a video about Morrowind factions ranked West Best. I usually use one of Aldrun's empty rooms as a player home, until I get something better. Thanks for watching!